One could easily fill a notebook with problems facing the modern world without really even putting much thought into it. Sometimes it feels as if every problem that we solve is replaced by 10 more. Though we may not be able to solve every problem that will arise, if we can solve these 5, the world will be a much better place. Problem 1. Meaning and connection. It often feels that the modern world has experienced a Nietzschean death of God, and nothing has risen up to replace him. Nihilism, loneliness, and despair can be found somewhere in every heart. And even with more religious people on earth today than at any point before, humanity as a whole seems so far from truly understanding its existence. It may be that a universal answer to this question is ultimately unknowable, and that we each have to find meaning within ourselves. So at least for now, all I can tell you is what gives my life meaning. For me, it's connection. Connection to my loved ones, my community, and the broader world around me. This may seem easy in a world with over 7 billion people, but over 61% of Americans polled in a 2020 Cigna study reportedly feel lonely. This is pre-pandemic, of course. To begin solving this, we need to develop a healthy relationship with social media. Even though these tools were designed to connect us, oftentimes they do just the opposite by showing us every time that our friends don't invite us to events, and by pushing us divisive articles and political videos that don't teach us anything. They just make us angry. If you find yourself diving too deeply into this toxicity, it may be time to give social media a break. Perhaps you'll return someday, or perhaps not. If you do decide that social media adds value to your life, then try spreading love through as many channels as you can. Social media is a great way to keep in touch with old friends and distant family while also providing us with an opportunity to make new friends all over the world. I have been lucky to meet people through various online groups, hashtags, and explore feeds, and many of these people have gone on to become some of my best friends, even though we have never met in person. Through social media, we can learn to better understand cultures and people all over the globe. Next, we move from the online sphere to building community in the real world. We can do these by organizing community events. This can be done through your church, local library, social media sites, or by contacting your local government official to see what events they will let you plan within your city. There, you can organize community cleanups, food drives, book drives, build those tiny little libraries that people put in their front yards, support local businesses, assist elderly members of your community, vote for investment in your local parks, work with foster care groups and troubled youth homes, build food co-ops, housing co-ops, buying clubs, tool co-ops, and create as many programs for kids as possible to help keep kids connected to their community and away from crime. To me, it's nearly impossible to feel that life is meaningless when I see the smile on a loved one's face when you hug them, or the thankful look in the eye of a stranger when you help them out of a bad situation. We can all create meaning and connection each and every day. Problem 2 is ecological disaster. With the ecological crisis that we face in the current moment, it is easy to become disheartened. It seems that disaster constantly happens all over the world. Desertification plagues swaths around the equator, and so many creatures go extinct every year. Though we do occasionally make some progress, a change in the way that we view ourselves and nature may be necessary to conquer our challenges. I believe the solution here is that for too long now we have held the biblical view that the man has been dominant over nature, and it is ours to do what we wish. This seems simple until suddenly we are humbled by earthquakes, volcanic eruptions, tsunamis, and other events. Topple that with rising temperatures, increased pollution, and desertification, and suddenly it doesn't look like we have that good of a handle on it. That is because we spend so much time fighting nature rather than working along with it to preserve what we love. I believe that we can build cities to be much more ecologically friendly, improve the landscape around our homes to use indigenous plants that consume much less water, and increase food production by increasing our garden space rather than lawn space, and growing vegetables suited to the environments we live in. We can continue to work towards natural alternatives for all of our daily products that we consume, and be aware of the footprint that we are leaving behind. We can learn to better coexist with the nature around us and integrate into the urban areas, not resist it. We all want clean air, clean water, and a healthy ecosystem, so we ought to fight for it. We are part of nature, not above it, and we can't ever forget that. Problem 3 is that we need to beautify our homes and our relationships. We have let our homes become cluttered, and it's time for some serious cleaning. So here's the solution. For a solution for your residence, go through everything you own. What really gives your life value? There are items that will make you truly happy, and others are essential, such as tax papers for the IRS, but some stuff you will realize offers absolutely nothing to your life, and those things you should donate to someone who will get more joy out of them. Now set up your home in a way that makes you the most comfortable and the happiest possible. For me, a nice reading chair next to my bookshelves is a happy place. For your loved ones, they're your home as much as your residence is, because when things get tough, they will be your safe place. This means that you should beautify your relationships with them. Love your spouse as no one else could. Be passionate, be loving, be caring, and listen to them when you talk. Pick them up and kiss them as if they'd never been kissed before, and make memories with them every chance you get. Be a great parent, sibling, friend, uncle, cousin, or any other hat that you wear. Always learn and always improve. Problem number 4 is education. There are plenty of complaints to be made about the modern education system and what it teaches us, but that is not actually the education problem that I will be focusing on here. The worst problem is that people often stop learning altogether once school is over. The first solution here is just to never lose your excitement and wonder for the world. The libraries are open to everyone, not just students, and within those libraries you can find attempts to answer almost any question that has ever been asked. Think of yourself as one of Plato's philosopher kings, minus the communal wives, and dedicate your life to the pursuit of knowledge. You don't have to stop being excited about history, astronomy, chemistry, or poetry just because school ended. Specialize in a subject, but don't be constrained by it. What I mean by this is that you should master your craft, but don't think that having knowledge in other fields would degrade your mastery. In fact, it will probably make you even better. If you're an architect, having knowledge of different scientific fields, art forms, history, and mathematics could give you all sorts of interesting architectural ideas that someone with only knowledge of architecture would never think of. Of course, it's important that we have experts in every field, but we can all improve by sharing our knowledge with everyone else and constantly trying to learn from one another. Adam Smith, who loved the efficiency of the division of labor, also said that too much specialization makes it so that a person, quote, generally becomes as stupid and ignorant as is possible for a human creature to become, end quote. Problem 5 is that we need to be virtuous for virtue's sake. Too many people only act well because others are watching. A solution here can actually come from the Stoics, and the Stoics have actually come back into popularity over the last few years, especially as YouTube channels have made videos on the Meditations by Marcus Aurelius. He is one of the most famous Roman emperors because of his virtuousness despite having nearly absolute power. Now, he was not perfect, none of us are, but he acted with more honor than almost any man in his position would. He believed in being honest, industrious, respectable, courageous, and wise. We could all take lessons from him on how we could act in public and in private. I hope that you enjoy these 5 solutions, and please check back for more of my videos soon. Thanks.